Hello.
Hello, hello. Sorry, technical issues here. I couldn't even see myself. It's like, that's gonna be no good. If I can't see me, no one's gonna see me.
Hey.
Oh my God.
Hello, Linda.
Hello, Julie. I was very taken with it.
Yes, absolutely.
I need to change.
It's really addictive.
Powering on. Ready to pair.
Sorry, there's a Zoom has issued a new Zoom link. You've obviously all found it, okay? Did you get the email? Because I had some people saying they didn't get the email, so I was just a bit panicking. Get the email all right, Julie?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's fine then. I did pop it in Facebook as well, just in case, because
Yeah, I've had about half a dozen.
yeah, I was just like, I can't. I've just got to throw it from all angles.
Yeah, I didn't get emails.
Oh, Miranda's on. Oh, hi, Miranda.
Who didn't get an email? Who's me?
Christina, sorry.
On Monday.
You didn't get one, did you not? Have you checked spam? Because Eventbrite's.
Yes, I've got all sorts of interesting things in there, but nothing from you.
Oh, there's a couple of you that didn't get it. So I've just popped it onto, because it's normally the same link, but Zoom decided this time to commit to make me a whole new link, which completely confused my computer. That's why was a bit late coming in, because it's like, what's going on?
I also clicked through the event and it said that I didn't have a ticket and I knew I'd already bought one. So
yeah, no, don't ever worry about that. I can see who's coming in, so I just let you in, so don't worry. Yeah. I literally had people about 5 minutes ago saying I haven't got tickets. I've just sent them a link, so I really don't mind about that.
I'm not an imposter.
No, I do know who's coming in, so I do have a look.
Yeah,
it's popping in, so don't ever worry about that.
Okay,
because that's something that could be literally sorted out there and then. I was just really worried that no one got the link, so I popped it into Facebook and into the event, so it's all sat there. So hopefully we have everybody.
Debbie.
Yes, who's that?
Jane.
Hi, Jane. Oh, hello, Jane.
Hi. On Monday, you explained on an iPad how you could stick with like
double tap with your finger.
Just on the screen?
I believe so. The young ones on here might be able to help a little bit more with that one.
And then what does that do?
You should, it should hold me there. Are you trying to mute yourself?
No, it's just so when other people speak, it doesn't go over to
I will get everyone to mute themselves in a minute, Jane. At the moment, no one's muted. That's why whoever speaks comes up in a moment. So I just wait for everyone to arrive. So once that comes,
but I think
I'm going to try and spotlight.
Yeah, when you
touch there you go. You should be able to see me all the time now. So people talk and then you should still be able to see me. So can you see me, Jane?
I can see you now, yes.
Did anyone see Jane just then or just me?
It's just
you. Good, that's worked then. Someone asked me to spotlight me, so I've done that. So you should just literally see me now.
On Monday, someone had said when someone said anything, it went over to them and away from what you were doing.
That is what, yeah, Sarah told me that when I was running with her yesterday. So I think I told it. She told me how to press there's a little button up here. So now when you talk, you should still be able to see me.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good.
And I can still see all of you up top here. I just need to scroll through and everything. That's fine. Now, I've got some new ones on here, I think. Some new ladies. Oh, there we go. Someone coming in. What we do is at the beginning of Art Club, what I do is I get you, it's Jude, to pause yourselves. Not pause, unmute yourselves. And then if you have a question, then you can just unmute yourself. If I mute you, then obviously you're waving away and I won't see you do that. So that's all I'll ask you to do. Hi, Ivy. Right there, I can see Ivy. We will be using today our little wax. If you don't have a wax candle, if you didn't see it on the instructions, so just people coming in. We need a little wax candle or a candle of some sort. That's another one. That's the one that we're supposed to use drawing wise that you can get on Amazon. And then there's my normal little wax candle. So any of those will do because we've got a little bit of wax with this going on with that today. Normal uniball, pencil, paints. Very limited colours today, actually. Oranges and yellows, a bit of brown.
Debbie?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, who's that?
Lorraine.
Lorraine, hi Lorraine.
Good. That's all right.
I can hear you. There we go. Can you still see me?
I can see you, which is fine.
Good. That's all you need.
Good.
If I lose you, I'll pop you back in again. Are you
Well,
on your
I'm
laptop?
on my laptop with a screen, so that works at the moment.
Okay, cool. Really good. Right, I think we can get going. Okay.
What colours will we be using?
Oranges and yellows, autumny colours. Burnt umber, burnt sienna, and if I use Payne's grey, indigo, those colours sort of a grey colour, if you've got a grey colour. Did any of you make a colour swatch of your paint pots? Oh, wow. Well done, Liz. I can see.
Yeah.
Nice, and Angela. It really helps to see what colours you've got. Ah, Lorraine's done hers. Goody good. It's just a little bit easier. I'm just going to pop to the other screen because I've got a few of you on the other one. And Julie's done hers. This kind of, if you have, some of you haven't been to Art Club before, this is like a colour swatch of my paint pot. This is my paints here. And all I do is make a little colour chart so I can see what I've got in here, because they all just look the same once you've been daubing your paintbrush in them quite a lot. And it just enables you, if you don't, because sometimes I got Lisa, she's taking the recording, but hers is in Japanese, so she just makes colours up to what she's got on there. So it makes it a little bit easier. I mean, just similar colours. I've just got a cadmium orange, is what I just dunked mine in, I think, by the looks of that. Just awesome colours, up to you. Anyway, let's get drawing. Normal, we're going to go portrait. So what you can do, your paper needs to be this way up, and then you need to draw it into quarters for me. If you've got a ruler, that will help as well. If not, you'll just need to approximate your centimetres. There we go. I'm going to go to my camera down below, and I'll be working alongside you. Let's go. Put me up. Yeah, I'm just going to view myself, then I can see what you can see. Oh, didn't mean to do that, ladies. It's been one of those days today. There we go. Should go down. Right, that's what we should have. Right, number 2. This is when we're going to put on all the dots, and we're going to work off these dots. So on the middle here, I want you to go out to the right 9 centimetres. 9 dots, 1 centimetre apart, basically. We'll need these dots. Oh, we got someone. We need these dots because this is where we're going to place the trees. Just approximately. I don't mind if your wood's slightly different to mine. Julia, you haven't missed much. Did I lose you, or have you just popped in? Oh, there she is. Julia, we just quartered it, like you can see on the screen there, and we're done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dots, 1 centimetre apart to the right, and then you need to go up 12 dots, 1 centimetre apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. And then you need to come down 6 dots, 1 centimetre apart. Now, I know we're doing the wood, so it's kind of like, because it's not a building, it's a little bit freewheeling, but I'm going to actually get you to place the trees in the right place and get the size, because in the picture, obviously you've got the larger trees in the foreground, which are darker. The foreground's always darker, and then these small ones. So that's what I'm going to be guiding you to get this kind of perspective going. And then this kind of painting bit is quite freewheeling, splodging, splatting, and a lot of paint. So we were getting our watercolour techniques going with that one. Right, how's everyone doing? Let me have a look. I'm just going to go to the gallery. Has everyone done all their dots and they're all up to date? Thumbs up if you have got your dots. There is a little emoji at the bottom there. Those who haven't, it's a reaction button if you're on Zoom. It's the bottom right hand side. You can give me a little, oh yeah, lots of thumbs up. Goody good. Right. Let's go back to my view. Right. I'm going to start getting the trees on here now. Now, to place them in the right place, so we're trying to get these trees on, these 2 front trees, this one here and this one here. We're going to go, this is number 6 dot here. Just turn that light out of the way. It's This is number 6. This is number 7. So this tree here, this first one here, goes right through number 6 dot and number 7 dot. So do this one first, and you can see how it goes up on the screen. Obviously it's wider at the bottom, otherwise it's going to topple over. Look at the screen here and just copy it. So go up, and then you've got a little split thing at the top there. So all I can say is just copy what you can see, and just do this first one here, it's number 1. And then we'll do number 2 in a second. So count across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just draw the line there, number 7. And then that gives you the width of that tree as well. And then just come down, and it comes down, and you've got 6 dots here. And this is the 6th dot here. This is the 5th dot. So you've got an indication of where it comes. You can just draw yourself a little gentle line across there, and then come down. Just making sure it's slightly wider at the bottom. That's all. And then you go up to, I think that's the 12th one. You can go always up to the 12th one that you've got up there. Take him all the way up the page. In my picture, they just fade off into nothingness, basically. He sort of goes off to the side. Take your time getting this one in. Once you've got the hang of this one, and your split bit here can be down here, it can be up there. You don't have to put that split bit in if you don't want to at all. And it doesn't have to go as hard. It needs to be one of the taller ones in the picture. These in the foreground. I'll just make sure you're all on mute there. So I've just popped, in the background here, I've just popped my one on in the background there. Let me press a bit harder so you can see him. So he's just there through number 6 and 7. Now this is number 8 dot here, number 9, and this little thinner, slightly thinner tree, slightly smaller than 1 centimetre. And this is 1, 2, this is the 3rd dot. So this one kind of comes right down in between the 3rd and 4th dot down there. So you can just draw yourself a little guided line across so you get the bottom of him. And then you just make him a little bit skinnier, and he just sits behind that one, as you can see on there. That's number 8, number 9. So he sits nearer the number 9. And this is a hill they're sitting on, so try and make the front bit a little bit longer than the back bit, because they're going into the sort of sitting on the edge of the river there. Just sketch that in. Just look at the screen. It doesn't have to look exactly like mine, as long as it looks like a tree. It doesn't look like a tree at the moment, but it will do. You give it branches and texture and all that at the moment. Just getting the trees in at the moment. Bit of reflection today as well, all going on in this picture. Right, so let me have a look. How is everyone doing? I'm going to just draw mine. Claire, you all right with, how's Dad doing? He's doing all right. Do you know Claire's dad's a relatively famous artist, isn't he, Claire? Who? Oh, is that your hubby?
It's James, so therefore James thinks he's connected.
It's in the blood, Debs. It's in the blood.
It's not. What you're drawing at the minute, it's not. Who's your famous?
My great grandfather was an artist called Samuel Drummond, who painted Death of Nelson and several other famous people, including including Isambard King de Brunel's father, Mark Brunel.
Oh, wow!
You can Google him. His collections in the Queen Collection and Greenwich.
I'll have a look. Is he in Greenwich? I've been to Greenwich.
Yeah, some of his paintings at Greenwich.
Okay, I probably saw it.
We're away at the moment.
He was deported in
Maybe you put away because they're not very good.
1820.
Yeah, Mike, Claire's dad's related to Jack the Ripper, I think. That's more like it.
We mute ourselves now.
Okay, I think we better. Oh dear. Right, let me have a look. Right, how's everyone? Has everyone done those 2 trees? This is how your trees are going to be tonight. Just take your time and get those first 2 on. It's just sticks. We're just going to pop sticks in the moment. Goody good. It's just getting the perspective right, because these first two are the biggest, and then we're going to go further and further back with them all. You right, Hannah? It's trees, Hannah. Right, let's have a look. Are we all happy with that? Have we got our trees on, our first two on? Thumbs up if we have. Good. Really good. You can still see them on the next one that I'm going to do. If you haven't, you can still carry on because they're still on there in red. So the trees we've just done are in red. And you're going to pop these three on now. This one here we'll start with. So this is number 4 down here. So you can see how far they come down, and that's number 3. Ooh. We got Kerry in. Kerry, you right? Kerry, you right? Did we lose you?
Yeah, sorry, I had to log off. I had to swap computers.
Okay.
He needs that one for our homework, so I'm back now.
Where have you got to? You all right?
I've done the second tree, so I'll catch up.
Okay, that's right. We're starting the next 3 now. So this is this little one here starts at number 2. This one here is number 3, and this is number 4. And you can see where number 5 is. I personally would start at number 5 and pop this one in it. And it sits behind this bigger one here. And then you go over to dot number, this one here sits between dot number 3 and 4. And this is the thinner one because we're going back. Now we're going back into the distance. This is a little thin one sat by dot number 2. And you can see where they come. That's dot number 3 down there and dot number 4. And so just start with this one here and work your way to the left-hand side. That's what I would do. Yours might, if your tree goes straight up, you might not find yours goes behind that, but that's fine. It just needs to sit there next to him. If your tree didn't bend over, it doesn't matter. If it didn't, it could just go up with the other one. It just needs to be slightly thinner. If you look, they're getting thinner. This one here, that one there. And then that one's dot 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3. And then I'll pop that one in. Bring that down to the 4th dot. Just remember the front needs to be, so this is where the river is. So the front of the tree, where fronting the river, just needs to be slightly longer than the back because it's going down on a little slope. Because they're nature, they can be a bit squiggly. They're trees, so it doesn't have to be. Please don't draw your trees with a ruler. Otherwise, they'll look like lampposts. Liz, have you been using your ruler? I saw that. You haven't, have you? No. Oh, I just saw your face and thought, oh my God, just do it with a ruler. Right, that's my bottom.
I only ever did it on that penguin one and I learnt my lesson.
Yeah, they look like lampposts by the river otherwise if we do them with rulers. They need to look a bit sort of wibbly wobbly, so they're trees. And they just take them up. I don't go right to the top of my paper. You can adjust that once we colour them in a bit later if you want to. I'll just press mine a little bit harder, you can see what. So just sort of change the heights of these trees. This one here, just do them slightly different, but we'll go for that in a minute. So, but in the background, I've got mine going on. I think you can see. Let me focus that a bit better. You press a bit harder so you can actually see mine. I sharpen my pencil and it's not as. There we go. So it just gets a mass of trees. So the foreground tree should be bigger and the background tree should be slightly shorter. See, because you're going into the distance. So just make these two a bit shorter. So this is what I've got going on in the background there. So I've popped mine 2 on. So just made the front bit a bit longer on that one because we're going into the little one. That's what I've got going on there. Oh, right. Just take your time and get that right. You right, Dawn? Yay. Well, I'm just coming to see how you're doing. Let me know when you've got those on. Give me a thumbs up and then I'll know. Good. Well done, Sarah. Your laptop's working then, Lorraine? Yep. Good, good. Anne-Marie, You've got in, you got in. Technical issues. Good, good. Let me have a look. Kerry, you all right now? Have you caught up? Okay, cool. Right. So let's pop. You can still see the trees as you can on the in red if you are still catching up. What we're going to do now, so we've kind of put these 4 trees on and 5 trees on, and then we're going to pop this little bit of the edge of the river on now. So what I want you to do is, this is the number 3 dot, so just draw yourself like, remember it's nature, so we don't want like straight lines, just sort of like a little squiggly line. And then you're going to come out and you're going to draw, all I can say is these are the dots here, that's 4, 5, so you can see them on here, and just work your way down. And as you get down, come down the screen, they get a little bit bigger. Yours can be slightly different, it doesn't matter, but just get some sort of angles to come out like that. And you can draw just slightly different, but make sure it goes off like that. So we've got the wider part of the river at the front of the screen, the picture. And just come down there. So you can either follow mine on the screen there, or you can make your own up. I really don't mind. So just make sure you get that little flat bit there at the top there, and then work off that around your trees. Make sure they are horizontal. When you come into the land here, make sure they go horizontal like that for me. You might find your trees are slightly different, so you just have to adjust it. That's absolutely fine. And do them bigger. So I would probably draw a little line like that down if I was doing it myself. Like that. That might be a bit helpful. You can usually rerun that one if you want. Then just work off that. Just make sure the ones at the front are bigger, that's all. And it's the edge of the river, so they're not sort of straight, they're kind of rocks going around. I don't really see the background ones, it's just an indication that they're there really. On the background, I think you can see that. That's what I just popped on mine, slightly different. Just make sure that they're horizontal and they go in like that. That's all you need to do. And then give me the thumbs up when you're ready. You're right, Laura. How are you doing? How's your knee? It's okay now? Good. You're hydrated now, I hope. Oh, well and truly. Oh. If you need to WhatsApp anything to me, by all means do. I'll turn it on so I can hear it. How's everyone doing? Is everyone ready to get the other trees going? Cool. Shelley, you all right? Have you got your trees on? Yeah, you can see. Cool. Right. Now, you can see, everyone can see where, if you haven't caught up, you can see where you need to go. Right, we're going to put all these little trees on here now. So they are these little ones in the background here. So I've coloured them in black slowly so you can see them, because it's going to get very busy with all these sticks going all over the place. Now you can see where they sit. They don't have to be exact, but you can see where they sit inside These are the trees. And I've got 4 here that go over to, this is number 1, this is number 2 dot. So just kind of fit them in that space there. There's 5 of them. And just draw your version of the trees. We don't mind. Don't draw them in black because that is only solely so you can see them on screen. We will be colouring them all in. So just pop like 4. You can have 6, whatever you like, really, in there. Make sure they are, this is the 4th dot up here and this is the 5th dot, so you can see how high they go. I don't want them really tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, so no higher. Mine don't any higher than the 4th dot. It's just to get that little bit of perspective in there. So just draw yourself, so put some in there, a little one. All they are, those little ones, is literally a stick with, really quick stick with some little branches going off the side, an indication that there is a tree in the back there. Just press a bit harder so you can see mine. So just going to draw alongside you there. So I'm going to put on. We're going to pop the little branches on in a bit. You can pop some on if you want, if it helps you. You might fit more in your little space. Oh, I've got those on already. So not, who was out in that rain on Sunday then? I was. It was very wet. It was very interesting. Did anyone run the London Marathon or anything on Sunday? No, silly question really. No one was that daft to be out there in that weather, really, were they? Oh dear. We are going to put 9 dots across here. I haven't done that yet, but that is like 1, 2, so it's about 2 centimetres out there. If that's any, this little tree here is there, so it's right behind the centre point. This one here. Yeah, that was very interesting actually. It was like, I did mine on the trails. I have no idea why I did. It was really quite hard work. But I went with one of my friends and we did kind of come out the woods to run a little bit, but it was so windy. I'm like, I can't run this for 26 miles. I'm going to fall over. So we went back into the woods. So it was a choice between wind or mud. The puddles were so huge. I actually had to change clothes, but I was just so wet in the end. I just thought, let's just finish this. And then the app wouldn't work in the woods. So this lovely app that they've got to do it with didn't work. So then I have to load it, and it wanted your reference number, which I had about 2 years ago. So I was frantic. I had till midnight to get it in, and it was 8 o'clock at night. So it's a bit frantic in my house trying to find it. But it's quite clever, the app, because it realised I was a bit like trying to find something, and it emailed me it randomly, because obviously I put about 5 numbers in, didn't get the right one, so it emailed me the correct number. Has everyone got their little trees in? While you're waiting, you can draw yourself 9 dots out to the left for me, 1 centimetre apart. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is all I've got going on in the background with mine. I just popped in some random trees. I've got no tops on them yet. I'm going to sort that out when I put some pen on them, tidy it all up. It's to give it perspective. So these are the small ones in the distance. This is what we're trying to create here. So we're all right with our little trees. Have we got them? Do they? Hopefully your trees are different sizes, as in the foreground ones are a bit bigger and the ones in the background they are slightly smaller. Thumbs up if you have done your 4 trees, then I know to move on. Yeah.
There's 6 trees on there.
Have I done 6? Yeah, there's 4, there's 5 there, 6, 7. Shelley. Who said that? Was it you, Shelley?
Yeah, and I can't count.
That's all right. There's 5 there. I did 5, yeah. So there's 5 in this little bit here, and then I just put a couple in between here, really. Don't have to worry about doing many, but yeah, there's some in between these 2 big ones. If you've done 4, it doesn't matter. 4's fine. You just have to have some trees in the background there. Doesn't matter how many you've got in here. Just try and put a couple in between these bigger ones. That will help. Right, let me go to my speaker view so I can see. So once we've done that, we're going to pop the trees on the other side. So these 3 here are the ones that you've already done. So you don't need to worry about those. I've coloured them in grey so you can see them a little bit better. And I would work from left to right, but you can do it the other way if you prefer. This is number 6. This is number 5. So you can see these 2 ones here where they sit. So this big one here starts just inside number 9. He can start on number 9, doesn't really matter. This one and this one, the 2 big ones. So I would pop the number 9 and 8 on. So it's just inside and make sure it's wider at the bottom. And it comes down. This is number 5 here and number 6. So that's why I would start with that one, because he sits exactly on those numbers and it allows you to then bounce the other ones off that one. So just go slightly in and then draw yourself down. So draw yourself a line across where number 5 is and number 6. So you've got the bottom of it. Just come in. And then the front bit goes slightly down further. So just remember, because it's on a hill, this bit here is a little bit longer than that bit there. And then go all the way up. These are the 2 big trees, so they can go up. Not right to the top of the page, just leave. I always make things just fade off the page. And then I would put this one here on, this other big one. And he sits on number 6. 9, 8, 7, 6. He comes down between the 5 and the 6 line, and he sits just before the 5th one. So always get the bottom bit on first, and then you can mess around with the top bit once you've got that on. It's the top bit. It's just once I've got their base on. So I put those 2 on. So basically, I've popped those 2 on first. Those 2 big ones. I think they're easier. I haven't done any tops on them at the moment. I'm just going to put the tops on now. So do your bottom bit on first and just make sure they go narrow at the top. They're not top heavy. Otherwise they fall over. Well, there are lots of trees falling over. So I walked around Horseshoe Lake today. Wow, that must have been really flooded. That was. There were trees absolutely everywhere falling over. I do know someone who tried to run their London Marathon route around there and actually had to abandon it because it was lots and lots of water. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees going on here. It just looks very confusing, but it's not. So we'll go back to this. I will then put this little one on here. He sits on just past number 7 dot there, you can see. So I'm going to pop it on. And so that's 5. He sits just above number 4, so that's number 4 dot here, and it's number 7. So I'll pop him in. It's a nice little tiny one. Draw my line across. And just make sure he's tiny. It'll just sit there, a little tiny one in the background. It doesn't need to go very big. It just sort of fades up there with some little branches. And then this one here sits on number, this is number 5, this one here. You might find it sits behind this bigger one, and he comes down to number 5. Just goes behind that one there. So he sits nice and close, basically. There's lots of lines, very confusing. I'm going to colour these all in with our unirule. And then this one here sits on number 4 dot. And you can see where they come. This is the 4th one, 5th, 6th. So the 4th one sits there between the 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that one. So come down. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just doing that one there now. 4. Doesn't really matter if you can't fit them all in, just try and make it look like there's bigger ones and then they go back into the distance, and smaller ones. You're just creating a woods. I'm just trying to get you to get some perspective in there. That's all. So the distance ones are smaller than the foreground ones. I think I put a little bit of grounding on those two. Foreground there. Soon to be colouring in with our uniform. So this is my one in the foreground. The background here, I've just got on and I've just freehanded a few trees in there myself. You don't have to follow exactly. So then you can see it almost goes into a distance up here. And then down here, you've got the perspective going on down here. And that's what I'm just literally trying to get you to do. You can see the trees. If they don't, just get your rubber and rub the tops off them, it doesn't matter. And so you've got that like distance, you can see that distance going on vaguely. It's in the painting as well, you can see, it goes like that. And then that bit goes like that. That's all you need to get on there. I'll rub that out so you can see. How's everyone doing? Have we got all our trees in? Thumbs up if you have your trees in. Just take your time. Good, good. Well, you're working fast there, Claire. Right. Now we're just going to pop in the banks of the river on that side. Now this is, what have we got? I need to add you some more dots, don't I? That was right. So you've got 6 going down there already. You need to add on 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you need to add 3 more on. And then you can use them to get your ruler and add on a couple more dots. And this one comes out 1, 2. So this is you've got that line already. You've got that bank on there. So that's your first one. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's number 4. Dot 5. That's 5, 6. This is 7. It comes down at 10. So that goes in at about 6, approximately. Doesn't have to. Just try and get it to come down to number 10. That will be your biggest one. It's the foreground. This is that one there we're working on. I'm trying to get this one in. And then just 2 more in the background there. They kind of disappear behind that big one at the front there. To just tuck it behind the 2 front trees that you've got. It sits behind there, look. That one there just sits behind those. And then you just tuck a couple in. That's that back line that you originally drew with those tiny little trees in the distance on it. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. And do it kind of like a riverbank, really. Try not to do too straight a line. You might want to put 4 in if you've got smaller ones. It doesn't matter, as long as they looks like a riverbank. And then you can just tidy up your lines, really. So you can get rid of that 9 down the middle there. You don't need him anymore. I seem to have got some perspective lines going on there. That's what I showed you. It'd be hard to tidy up these lines at the moment until you've got your uniball going on there. But I'm just going to rub that out. So you're just left with trees and a bit more like a riverbank. So you have got, hopefully, the bases of your wood on there. And this is where we're going to start colouring in the trees. So you will need your uniball, or hopefully a pen that is waterproof. Let me just check everyone's up to speed. Has everyone done their riverbank? They're ready to uniball. Thumbs up if you are ready to uniball, because this is when we colour in the trees and do a pattern. Cool. So these are like silver birch trees.
I'm not yet, Debbie. I just need to do the riverbank.
Okay, cool. I'll hang on for you. That's cool.
I'm not either. That's Ross.
Hi, Ross. That's fine. Don't worry. Just hang in there. It's fine. While you're waiting, just tidy up your picture of all the little dots if you can, and lines if you can. Your rubber might not allow you to do that. If you've got one of those electronic ones, you're more likely to be able to do it. We don't need any of those we don't need any lines basically anymore. So if you want to tidy it up a little bit, there we go. We'll go over it with pen in a minute and then you can actually rub it all out properly. Tidy that up. It's lines and lines, it's very confusing. Lines everywhere. You won't be able to probably tidy up that line where all the trees sit on unless you've got that lovely little rubber like that. And you can probably go in and do that. But I won't worry about that at the moment. So what I'm going to show you is we're going to go, I'm going to put in the trees. Let me just get these all up. So we're going to pop in these ones at the front here. And as you can see in the painting, they've all got patterns on underneath their barks. And then we're going to, this white bit is actually wax resist once we've got in there. So we're going to put the patterns on the bark, which is silver birch pattern that this is how I do it basically. And you've got your uniball. And this, as you can see on the screen here, this is how I do it. I just literally do these little lines. And the silver birch has kind of little, funny little triangle-y things going on it where its bark splits. And then to make a tree look round, you just do these little funny little lines around it like that, intermittently, and it makes it look like bark. So I would like you to pop in these ones in the front there with your uniball. Don't do these other ones yet in uniball, just do those front ones. So just take your time doing that on those front ones. These little lines here of that little pattern that I've just shown you, I just did it in large. And they can be squiggly, it's a tree, it doesn't have to be straight. And then you can put in some little branches intermittently as you go up. You just draw your own, you can make those up yourself. Like we did, we did the robin, we had a twig coming out of his mouth. It's the same thing, just a little uniball twig. And you put them where you like. And then they just go off tiny, smaller as you come off further off the tree. And put those, try not to make them look even because they're trees. So I would draw up my tree first, make sure it's narrow. And then start putting patterns on them. So you can start on that one there. Let's pop him on first. Start on the right hand side one. And just let them fade off the top of the page. My painting, they just disappear off the top of the page. They don't go anywhere. They don't go to the top of the page. They just disappear off the top. And just pop little triangles on. This might take some time. Just take your time. Once you've got the hang of doing this, it's quite fun. I quite like doing this bit. This is based on go around with me and Claire on, but you didn't see it because it was dark. Actually, you might have seen them in the I've made this out of my head, but this is we go running up this hill in Run Club. We did it last night in the dark, where there's just a avenue of silver birches. Did you notice the silver birches, Claire and Laura, as we ran through them up that big hill at the start? Probably not. And that's what these based on. It's one of my favourite little routes to do. And it's just literally just a line of silver birches, which is beautiful. Spring and autumn time. Except the hill at the end isn't particularly fun. They probably don't remember it because of the hill was a bit it's very steep. Do you remember the hill, Laura? Do you remember seeing the silver birches in the dark with your head torch? Where's Laura?
No, the hill was too much of a nightmare.
It was just before the hill. All the silver birches.
I was probably anticipating the hill.
We'll do it in the daylight. You can see it. It's beautiful. The silver birches. It is my favourite hill to go up. Kind of wasted in the dark, really. But this is where this picture comes from, because of those silver birches. So just do, I've got my little one going here, and I'm just going to give him some little branches like this. Just make your own up really. And just as you go further, when you do tree branches, obviously they're thicker where they sit on the trunk, and then you draw a couple of lines out, you know, intermittently, not even. And as you go out like this, you just go further and further, and they go in threes almost. This is how you always do it. And just do little lines off. They get smaller and smaller, and that's one branch, and then you can just do another one. You get quite carried away doing this, and you can put another branch on there, and that's your first one. Once you've done that one over there, you can go to these two over the other side and pop those on. So at the moment I've got that one on the right, and I'm going to put these two on that side now. So pop those ones on the other side, and with the same pattern as you can see on there, just do that little round thing. It makes them look like a little tree. And the light is coming from the left-hand side. So you can almost make one side of your tree darker than the other. The right-hand side of the tree is in the dark. As you can see in the picture, there, where the light source is coming from. So your right-hand side of your tree trunks can be a little bit darker with your uni board if you want. And then just go. This takes a lot of drawing. You can just be quick. You don't have to be accurate. It's Mother Nature. Just an indication of the bark. And then draw little branches off wherever you want to do it. Because then you'll just draw behind these three then. So any branches you draw on the smaller trees behind that, you have to make sure they go behind these big trees. So you create that kind of perspective. I love drawing trees. I drew trees on my geography exam paper once, and really got told off my mock geography paper because I got bored waiting, and my teacher was not happy. It's a lovely tree. I thought it was quite good. It went all the way up the paper and round, but he wasn't impressed. It wasn't to do with trees, it was to do with mountains and how they were formed, which I loved to do because it was drawing and stuff like that. But I thought the paper needed a bit of sprucing up. Yeah, I remember that.
This is really similar to when I first met you a year ago at that weekend, and we did those trees.
Exactly, yes, it is actually, Laura, in that wood. I was doing yes, when we were doing the Bath skyline, that one, Laura. Yeah. That was when you first came across me, poor you.
Yeah, and I've got it sitting across the room over there.
Ah, well, these I draw these out of my head. I love drawing silver birch trees. They're just beautiful. Love silver birch trees. They're just beautiful, and they're indigenous to this country, so we have to keep them. They burn really well on the fire as well. They're quite useful little trees, really. And our little birds like these trees. I went to a garden centre once, and that's what she said. You need to buy these for your garden. I've got about 5 in my garden, silver birches. Yeah, I can just sit and draw these all day, these trees. So just stick some branches on. We've got 4. In art, you don't do evens, you do odd. So if you've got 4 branches, try and put 5 on. It just looks better. And then you've got a little bit of bottom stuff going on here or there. A bit of grass, so you can pop that on. I'll show you what I've got going. That's what I've done on mine in the background there. I've been scribbling away. As you see, I haven't taken my time over it. I've just done little squiggles. You don't have to be accurate. It's just to give you an indication of the bark. And you can see where mine goes at the top of the page. So these are my 2 big ones. And I haven't finished that branch, so let me finish them off. Go like that. I just literally, these pens are so nice because you can just tap it and it creates a branch. You don't have to do anything, you just squiggle it. How's everyone doing? Are we doing our little trees? Just take your time.
Debbie, should we be uniballing now?
Yes. distance with your uni ball. You can go straight on. Yeah, straight on with the uni ball. You don't need to, once you've got it on, go for it. Who is that said that?
Lindsay.
Lindsay, yeah, go in, Lindsay, just go over it. You'll be there forever otherwise. If you're not confident, then do it with your pencil. But I think once you've got one down, you can just go straight in. They're literally pretty much the same each tree. So if you haven't, get in with your uniball now and get uniball in them in. I can see on the screen there. And then we're just literally going to work through each tree. They are pretty much the same on all of them. So we'll just move to the next set of trees. We've got one. I'm going to go for this one here. I'm going to go with the bigger ones first and then work back down the picture. So I'm just going to draw this one down here. And I'll do the front a little bit smaller. Let's just put some bark on first, like I showed you, little squiggly lines. Little lines, squiggly lines. Remember, the right hand side of the tree is the darker side of the tree. And as you go into distance, the trees get smaller, you're going to hardly be able to do anything on them other than tiny little squiggles to give kind of like an indication of some texture, really. That's all you're trying to do. You go around there. I'm going to work up this tree here. You can all go in with your uniballs. You don't need to do with pencil, because once you get the hang of the squiggles. So then I'm going to put some branches on. Let's put a branch on there, put one on that side. And I might take that behind that one and just make that come out there. So it looks like that one is behind that one. And that's the next one done. Don't have to spend much time on it, just little squiggles. And you can work your way across from right to left as you want. You can just go and put this one in. You're just drawing them in, really, where you've got them with pencil. And go up. And just try and make sure they're narrow at the top. They will become smaller, these ones here, than the ones you've got in the foreground. So I'm just going to colour this one in the same, that little pattern that I showed you. Little dashes and then little circles to create the shape of the tree. And it gets less and less. As the trees get smaller, you've hardly got any space to put anything, really. And you're just literally creating this kind of tree texture, and then little branches that go out. You just randomly put your branches where you like. When you do your branches, just make sure you remember, so that one there is a big one. So I want a branch to come out from the smaller one. So I'm going to make sure it comes behind this bigger one. That's what we need to make sure. So those branches are going to go in front of that one because he is in the distance there. So he's done. And then I'm going to go across to the next one. Just draw him in. So just draw him in. You choked me. Oh, that's I'll put him in the wrong place. There we go. Right, let's draw him in. And don't do what I've just done. I've now made myself another tree. There we go. He wasn't supposed to be there, but we'll put him into a small one. He's fine. Just watch your lines. Don't do what I've just done. Well, you can do. I've just made another little tree in the background there. And then put some patterns in on this one as well. As I said, as you go smaller, it gets really difficult to put any kind of pattern on. I'm just literally squiggling that one. Oh dear. Turn that red. my radiator off. Right. Give him some branches. A few in the foreground here. So these are tiny little ones, so they just are little long ones up. These little ones. And then branches that come out on top of them. They don't need much at all. I've got one more bigger one here. He's there. I'm just going to colour him as well. Little patterns. Feel free to ask questions and ping stuff over if you need to. But we are literally just filling in. So I'm just like this. I can't even do that pattern on this one. So it's just literally see what I like to look. It's just squiggles. There, look. Just an indication of what. And then if you go back like that, it's like a. So I'm just squiggling it up like that because you can't put anything on there. I'll just put some little branches going up into the woods there. So these uniballs are lovely because they work. They allow you to kind of just let the paint just squiggle. Then these little background ones are just tiny little thin trees with hardly anything on them. And another little one. Just trying to create perspective on that. Put them all in like that. So they're my trees in very roughly. And then just give them all. Literally, that's going to have to touch it with a pen. Don't have to do anything really. Just squiggle up. And then just give them some little branches at the top there. Fade off into the picture. Like that. Just take them up with your pen. And we'll gently rub this all out, obviously, because we've got lots of pencil underneath. There's lots of colouring in this bit. The painting is actually quite quick. Really. And just work your way across. So I'm now going over to the other side. I've got some big ones, so I'll put that one in. Draw them and just let them fade off like that. Next one in. Colour in. So right hand side can be darker, so that's where the lights. So the shade is. Some branches. And that. And put the other one in as well. Put that one in. Doesn't matter if it's wiggly because branches can do what they like that. And just do a funny little pattern I showed you. Just across. And just give some, you can make the branches go across these ones in the distance. You can bring these bigger trees in the foreground. You can put branches across the smaller ones. So it looks like there's a bit of distance going on.
Hi Debbie, I've just
Yeah,
sent you a picture. I just need a bit of help, thanks.
It's all right.
My eyes are going all over the place.
Yeah, I did that. I added another tree and Chris. Right, let's have a look. There we go. Ooh. Well, I can see it's there.
I can't work out where the third tree starts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that help?
Just have a look. Thank you. Yeah, that helps.
I added another one in because I did that as well. I added, well, this one wasn't there. I drew a line and it wasn't supposed to be there. So you might find you suddenly have another tree.
An extra tree. Okay.
So don't worry about it. If you do, just put another one in.
Thank you.
That's all right. So I'm just scribbling across here. This is a little one. looks like I've added as well. There's lots of lines. It's just creating a forest really. So there we go. And then there. Is everybody else all right? You can flick it over if you like. You're probably all merrily just colouring in the branch there. Once you get to the smaller ones, they are quite quick. I mean, this one here I'm doing, I can't actually fit that pattern in, so I'm literally just squiggling up the tree. If you look closely at what I'm doing, let me just see if I can focus that a bit better. There we go. See, I'm not really going to even colour this. I'm just going to go like that up it. I'm not really doing anything. I can't even fit the pattern on. Just creating that illusion, really. It's not a bit better. Just going to go this last one. A lot of drawing on this one, but pretty much the same thing, really. And then I'm going to do a branch. You need to go behind this bigger one here and then come out there, because he's sat behind that. So just make sure when you do the little branches coming off, they go behind the bigger ones, if you've got one sat in the distance there. So they are my trees. So I'm going to do, when you have done your trees, just very gently make sure the ink's dry, kneading your balls. I haven't done the river bit yet. I'll do that in a minute. Just want to see that I've finished the trees, because sometimes pencil overwhelms everything. Just make sure the ink's dry first. As Paul found out on Monday. Is it Monday, Paul? Julie rubbed it out and smudged it. Eagerness.
What was that, Debbie? Sorry?
Did Paul rub out his ink on Monday and he had a smudgy?
Oh yeah, no, I sorted it out for him.
I did.
Yeah. He's gone training tonight, so.
Oh, has he gone running?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Training, rugby referee training.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's my son. No, my son does that Wednesdays. So I've just tidied up. Oh, there we go. So that's my trees done. So you can just be on the ones in the foreground, you can have like the detail that I showed you. As you go further back, you literally just create that kind of illusion that they're trees, but you just squiggle it. There's not much detail in it. How's everybody? Is everybody all right? Everyone's got very quiet on me. Lots of colouring in going on. Have you got a tent in the background there, Liz?
Yes.
I won't ask why.
It's a loo tent as well, so it's even more.
Oh, it's a loo tent.
Yeah, it's drying.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I thought that's what it was. It's been intriguing me all art class. Okay, like we always have loo tents.
No, we went to Norfolk at the weekends. And,
okay, whereabouts in Norfolk did you go?
Up near Walsingham.
I'm from Thetford.
Hey?
I'm from Thetford, so do you know Thetford?
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it wasn't that far, was it? Yeah, it was about an hour from where we were.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But we've never been there before, but it's very lovely.
Yeah, I didn't like it as a teenager, but I like it now. As a teenager, it was very boring. But
yeah, exactly.
It used to be an hour's trip to Norwich for all the nightclubs where I seem to remember. But,
no, we really loved it. We'd be going back, I think.
It's beautiful. I love it going now. I love going now. How's everyone doing? Have we coloured in our trees? Probably not, because I've only just finished mine and I've been scribbling the way I scribble. So just take your time. Anyone got any questions? Did Evie get in? Let me see if I can find her.
No, she couldn't make this week, but she's hoping to join next week.
Okay. I can send you the recording, Sarah, if you like.
Okay, thank you.
You can pop it to her.
Debbie?
Yes, who's that?
It's other Debbie.
Hello, Debbie.
Yeah, I'm a bit behind on my branches and stuff. I'm just a bit slow, really.
Are you all right?
So with the smaller trees, not the tiny ones, but when they're a bit smaller, so you can kind of still see the tops. I can't see, you know, how do they taper off? Do they
Yeah,
just
just taper off the page. If you let me just show you mine. Basically, it's almost like a V shape going on that.
But can I just see a bit closer of the top of them? Just see what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, right,
You see?
okay. Yeah.
They just literally run off the page. Does that help? There's no tops
that's
on them.
fine. Yeah, and regarding the branches, you were saying about some of them going in front of the trees and some one behind. Which ones?
You just choose. So these big ones here, if you've
Yeah.
got one behind here, like this one here.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
This
Yeah,
one in
yeah.
front, I'll just make that go behind. I won't worry about that too much. You probably won't come across that too often. And then this one here is the big one at the front. He's in front of the other one there.
I've only done like half the.
That's right. Just carry on.
Pen bit, so.
No, you're right. I haven't finished the pen bit yet. None of us have finished the pen bit at the moment.
Carry on then.
So carry on. I can send you the recording, Debbie, if you get behind anyway. So please
I think I'd like to request it so that because I don't want to feel under pressure. If that's all right.
No, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about that at
Thank
all.
you.
Just do as much as you can at the moment, and then we can. I can sort that out when we're finished.
Okay.
Absolutely. So don't worry about that. Because everyone works at different speeds, so I'm more than happy to do that. So yeah, if you can see, the trees just taper off the top of the page. So and everyone else is still drawing away, Debbie, so please don't worry. I'm scribbling in their trees. I just work extremely fast. So I was just trying to show you what it looked like when we were done. I haven't done the riverbank or anything. And then we're going to put the reflections in a minute. Let's have a look how everyone's doing. You've done your trees, Laura? Well, Laura probably has, because you've done these trees before, haven't you? Hey. How's Ivy doing? Has she done her trees?
Still work in progress.
Still work in progress. That's all right. No rainbow trees today.
Looks really nice though. Good technique.
It's a lot of pen work. But you've got to remember, when the smaller trees, you don't want to do much detail on the smaller trees because they're in the distance. We need to focus on the three that we originally drew, those big ones at the front there. As you can see in the painting, oh, I have got Lorraine there. It's fun. Lorraine, I keep looking for you, but you are there. It's a different view. I'm not used to seeing you that way around. But you're still there. I was a bit worried I'd lost you, but you're still there.
No, I've set myself up with my laptop to the side, and I have a separate screen in front of me because it's nice and big, so my silly old eyes can see.
Ah, so you're like me, because I have my laptop and I do have a TV screen with you all on there, so I can see.
Yeah, I've got a big separate screen that I use downstairs, but I need this for my. I've got a Zoom art sewing thing shortly, and I need.
Okay, so you need a bit more. So you need to be able to see.
Yeah, yeah. So it works for me. This, thank you.
It's all right. That's exactly how I work when I do. I have a TV screen because my computer's only like A4 size, so I'm getting old. My eyes can't see that much. That close. Right, let's have a look. So this is obviously a lot of drawing, but please don't worry about too much detail on these backward ones. That's better. Get that focus a bit better. And if you have done that, you can do the little. We've got the riverbanks going on there, so we've got that little line that you originally drew. These are what you've already got on in pencil, and you can go over with them. Whatever you created as your little riverbanks. We've got 3 going on there. That's my riverbanks done in pen. You can put little grass things underneath if you want. Up to you. will be a recording for all of everybody that hasn't managed to keep up. I really don't mind. I think I've got it all sorted now. People seem to draw the robin all right from it, so. So once you have your trees on, then you can rub out your pencil. You no longer need it on there. You can put your riverbank in. Well, one of these pictures where the drawing takes a lot of time and painting takes literally nanoseconds, because it is literally a wash of orange and yellow, same colour up top, same colour down below, same colour up top on the tree, same colour down below, and you know, the main bit is the drawing. Let's do it. So don't worry about, as I said, the detail on the trees in the distance. Literally the foreground ones, the ones you need to get kind of looking after the tree. Ones in the background you need to worry about. And then rub it out, tidy up, put your riverbanks on that you've drawn on yours as well. They just disappear. You have a little bit of a gap at the top as you do in the original painting. There's just nothing at the top there. Just disappears off. And give me, there's no hurry at all. Just give me your thumbs up so I know where everybody is if you have done your little textures and your riverbanks on there. That doesn't mean to say I expect you to finish at this moment in time, just so I know where everybody's at. The speed. And then we'll go back to our pencils for a second. Once you've done your uniball, you'll need your pencil back, because we're going to pop in the reflections and then the wax, and then we'll get the paint out. Debbie, do you have a uniball that you're working with there? What's that? You're muted. Unmute yourself.
Actually, it's just a biro.
Yeah, you need to invest in one of these. You'll be a bit quicker.
Oh, okay.
I'll send you the link of one of these.
Yeah, thank you.
Because I use these all the time and all the artwork, art clubs that I do.
Okay.
This is my go-to pen. Because they got.
Oh, was it like a? Was it a marker pen? What?
No, it's called a uniball. You can get them in Tesco's.
Okay.
You can get different sizes. This is a fine one. You can get a macro or micro one, which I also work with. They look like that actually. There's one with the lid. You can buy them in Tesco's.
Okay.
Yeah, they've got proper waterproof ink in them, and you'll be able to work a lot more quickly.
Okay. Please don't wait for me, because I'm happy to have a recording as well. So. No,
that's fine. So just hang in there so you can hear what's going on, and then.
Yeah.
Just how's everybody else doing? Who's that? Jude. Hi, Jude.
Jude, I've sent you a picture.
Oh, thank you. Let's have a look. What you've been up to. Yes, lovely. Like that. Well done. Pretty good. Good. Just make these little these ones in the background here. I'll just do on here. Those. Just send it back. Just give them some little branches a bit further down.
Debbie, are we uniballing in the riverbanks as well? Or
Yes,
is that
please. If you are waiting, you can pop in the riverbanks, uniball those in. And then we're going to do the reflections in a second. We'll just go back. Did you see, Jude? Jude?
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
I did. Yeah,
Just so they're not fluffy on the top. Gives them a little bit more body. Yeah, so put the banks on. You can go back to your pencil. How's everyone doing? Has everyone done their trees? Or are we still doing their trees? You've done your trees. Thumbs up if you've done your trees.
Debbie, it's Ross.
Hi, Ross.
Can you send me the link?
Yeah, I will.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll do that at the end, Ross. Just let me know. Just work along as far as you've got, and then I'll send you the recording. No problem. Don't worry.
Thank you very much.
Have you got a Uniball, Ross? Are you working with one of those?
I have got Uniball. I'm still on lead.
That's all right. Absolutely fine. It's a lot of drawing, this one. It's fortunately or unfortunately. But yes, don't worry. Remind me at the end. Whoever wants the recording to finish off at the end, just remind me and I'll pop that over. No problem at all. I won't remember while you're telling me.
Yeah, I've just got to get away from my trees looking like leopards at the moment.
It's all right. Right, we will go. If you are, who's done their trees? Jenny, have you done yours? No, okay. Nicola has. I've seen her keep thumbing up with me. What have you been doing? Let's have a look. Oh, I like it, Sarah. Oh, wow. Whoa. Okay. Wow. No, Sarah, I love it. Leave it. Cool. Like that. Brilliant. Leave that. That is lovely. I love it when people put twists on stuff. Wow. So you don't have to draw it like this. Just love the way people take it and make something different. Wow, love that. Okay, so we are going
intentional.
to put lots of trees. Someone's put lots of trees. Here looks, and you can put lots of trees. It's not a problem. Let me just go to my computer. Right, I'm just going to pop the reflections on for everybody now. And as we did, remember we did that boat one. Some of you might not have been on the boat one, but what you've got up here, top, is obviously reflected in the water down below. So you just pick, you're obviously not going to pick. Who's not on unmute? Is someone not on mute? Can you just check? Let's have a look. Debbie, can you just pop yourself on mute for me, Debbie. Debbie?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. That's it. Thank you. Right. As you can see on the screen here, I've picked this tree, and then just done the indication of these trees here and these foreground trees. And they're a mirror image of, so I've just drawn some lines, and they're not like dead straight. You've got to remember you've got the reflections, so they need to be kind of squiggly, as in the water squiggly. So pop those in with your pencil first. And then once you're happy with it, don't go, yeah, so just choose, I'm just going to choose, for me, I'm just going to choose that tree there, and I'm just going to draw approximately where he goes down. Just fade it off down the page, so he's there, and he comes in like that. And I'm going to choose that one. Just do some squiggles. Let me do it harder so you can see. Pencil, and I'll probably choose that one. Just choose which trees. So you just have to choose a couple of trees, your reflections, and they sort of go in like that. And I'm going to choose that tree there. Because he's a little one, remember he doesn't come all the way down the page because he's a little tree. The taller ones you can bring further down. I might pop my little one in there. And then I'll use these two in the foreground that I did. And I really have trouble going small to big when I do the other way around. Not very good at mirror imaging at all. So that's the trees I've decided I'm going to mirror image down into the water. And then all you do is you do the same thing. You can do it with pencil first if you're worried. Is just do a little bit of pattern on them. Very, very, very squiggly because it's supposed to be reflections in the water. So you need to make sure it's not too much detail, otherwise it will look like the trees up top. So I've got a bit of pattern going on there, so I'll put that on that side. So whatever you've got going on up there, so I've got a bit of pattern going up there, so I'm just going to make around, put that there, and try and copy a mirror image of what you've got going on up top. That there, I'm going to pop that on, and then that above that, and then those little lines around there. So nothing too detailed, and once you're happy with it, you just go in with your Uniball, and it's wiggly like this. Water. Don't do straight trees because it's water. It's got to be less detailed. very gently, wiggly, wiggly, water. Just gently, very gently, wiggly, wiggly, and just, I'm not really doing, hardly touching the page. And then these ones in the foreground, they're not going straight. I'm kind of wiggling it, my pen like that, kind of ripples in the water. So it's. I'll show you in a minute. You can probably see hopefully. Yeah. Just focus it a bit better. This camera doesn't have manual autofocus. It's a bit annoying. As you can see, I haven't done straight lines. They are a bit wiggly. The ones in the water, they're not straight, and that's the reflection ones. And then do that one, and then just do that really quickly, like that. And then I'll rub it out, so hopefully it's dry. And that you should have something that resembles the reflections of a few of your trees that you've got in your picture. So don't choose all your trees, just choose a few of your trees to create that kind of reflection. Just choose some ones in the foreground and then some in the background to get a little bit of distance on there. And once you have done that, you're almost ready to, well, we can put some wax resistant once everybody's got to that stage. And we're ready for paint almost. So, need any help with the reflections? Thumbs up if you've done your reflections. You'll need your wax candle or crayon, and if you're waiting for that, just get your paints and stuff ready. Dawn, are you all right? Yeah, cool. Has everyone done their reflections? I know Jenny hasn't. I can see her beavering away there. Hey. Oh, I like that. That's beautiful.
Debbie?
Yeah.
As a newbie, can you tell me what getting your paints ready means?
Hey, who said that? Sorry.
Linda.
Hi, Linda. I'm just trying to find you, Linda. Linda, have you got a wax candle or anything?
Yeah, I've got a wax candle. Yeah, I did the
Okay,
thing.
we're going to do that next.
Yes.
So just basically get your paints ready. You need to just get them out. Get your water ready. You'll need a pot of water. If you have a kitchen towel, that would be ideal as well. Nearby, bit of kitchen paper.
Okay.
Pot of water, and then have you got paints in a tube or paints in pans? Like this is paints in pans, basically. Is what I'm using.
I've got them in tubes.
You've got them in tubes. So you need to choose some colours like orange. I used orange, burnt umber, which is like a dark brown. Have yours got labels on them like that?
Yeah, no, I might be able to find something.
Yeah.
Bear with me.
That's all right.
I'll mute and I'll sort myself out.
Yeah, just let me know, because I have a lot of people have trouble with their colours. They're getting used to it now, so just let me know if you need help with colours. It's quite limited colours actually. It's just oranges. So I used that colour there, which is cadmium yellow, and then I used, because lemon yellow is too yellow.
Acid, yeah.
It's not the right one. So cadmium yellow I used a burnt umber. I used Payne's grey and a bit of indigo. You might not have indigo. And I used orange, basically.
Okay.
Very, very limited colours in there. And I think I put maybe a bit of burnt sienna, which is that rusty colour brown.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Debbie,
Yeah.
can you just remind me how to make indigo?
Indigo, can't really make indigo, but I would say you could probably, if you've got a grey there,
Yeah.
pop a bit of ultramarine in it, it'll give you like a bluey grey.
Okay, great.
Didn't it, if you have a look, I don't know if you can see, let me have a look. If you can get indigo, I would get it. If you look at the difference between that's Payne's grey and that's indigo, they are both kind of grey colours, but the indigo's got more of a blue hue to it, which is I like that, and I use that a lot more than I do the Payne's grey. I think Payne's grey dulls pictures quite a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Thank
if
you.
you haven't got it, just stick a bit of ultramarine in your grey colour, and that should hopefully give you a similar colour. It's just down the side of the trees, really. That's all we're going to be doing. So we're going to. Yes.
Debbie, can I ask you something?
Yes,
Christine. I've got a paint box here, but I haven't got any names for any of the colours.
Okay. A lot of that happens a lot with paint boxes.
So
actually,
I'm just going by eye.
No, that's cool. Christine, what I would do though, on my art Facebook page, I did take a picture of my palette. And I know it's quite messy, but it's kind of how it works.
Mine.
But I took a picture of my palette so everyone could match up their colours. So if you go, are you on do you follow my Facebook page, my art one? You probably do, because that's where you found the events.
I don't do Facebook.
Oh, you don't do Remind me afterwards, and I'll take a picture of this, which I can take for everybody actually.
Okay.
And then you can see the colours written on there. So when I'm talking about a colour, you can probably then match yours up similar. Just do a colour chart like this is really a good idea of your box. So basically you just get up your paintbrush and paint a little square of each colour, and then label it up. So you can kind of almost label them up to the similar colours that I've got here. So I can send that through to anyone who wants it. Please message me though, because I have so much messages coming from, I will not remember who's asked me. And I really don't mind, because what I'll do after Art Club, I've got the picture on my phone, I can send it through, then you can do yourself a little colour chart ready for Art Club.
That's very kind.
I
Thank you
use
very
this
much.
palette all the time for Art Club, so there'll be the same colours, there won't be anything different on there. So that can just help everybody do that. That's all right. So I'm going to go in with we're going to do this wax resist. So basically where we've got the white on the picture, so the light is coming from the left. So all this down this side of the trees, you basically go down the edge with your wax candle or your wax crayon. It's quite difficult with these little ones here, but these foreground ones, if you can get them going, and then also in the reflections, and then across the water as well, to give the pretense of water there basically. And I did the front of these little rocks here. So basically we're going to go, let's just do the trees first. So has everyone got their candle ready? Who's up to speed? We've got our little candle ready, or whatever we've got going. Beth, you've got a big candle there. So you might have to turn your candle to the side a little bit. I'm going to do that.
Find.
Sorry?
All I can find.
That's absolutely fine. If anyone gets, I've got, these are the art version. I mean, they're the same as a candle actually, but obviously they're like a wax crayon basically, but they're a candle. You can get these on Amazon or any art shop online actually. They're just called wax resist crayons really. If you've got this, it's the same thing. I'll use the big one for Beth, so I'll Beth's making a moustache with hers. So just go up one side where the light is, which is the left-hand side of the tree, and you just go up with your candle. You won't see where it's gone. You will when you paint it. And if you've got one of these art ones, you do the same up the next tree, and then gently up the next tree. Just remember, as the trees get smaller, you've got to try and get some paint on there, so just be very careful. You probably won't be able to do it on these smaller ones, and then when you get back to the bigger ones, on that left-hand side of the tree, you just take your crayon or candle up the side of the tree, and then you just go up that one. Just make sure you press hard enough. So that's your trees, and then these, because the light's coming from that side. I'm going to make these little water banks here. So put a bit on the front of those. You can't see where it is, so it's all a surprise. And then the reflections in the water, just intermittently on the left hand side of the tree, pop some reflections in as well on there, so they kind of simulate what you've got going up top there. And then draw straight lines across to simulate the water. So I'm just going to get a line like that, and that you'll see that when we go into paint, and that's your wax. So that is all you need to do, and then you need to get your paints ready for the next bit. And your brushes and your water and a bit of kitchen towel. And what we're going to do is whatever we paint up top, we have to paint down below with a slightly lighter colour, because we're going to create this reflection. You need to make sure whatever colour you use up here, you use in the reflection in the water down here. So I'm going to use, so what I'm going to do is wet the paper first of all. I work upside down. You might not like to. I just find it's easier to access these trees here, because all I'm going to do, I've just got water on my paintbrush. That is all, nothing else. And I'm just going to paint with water in between these trees.
Sorry, Debbie, I've forgotten where the wax goes other than on the edge of the tree. My fat.
That's, on the river bank. Is that you, Beth?
Yeah.
With your enormous candle.
Yeah, a bit slow.
That's absolutely fine. On the right hand bank there, because the light's coming in from the left hand side, just here.
Yeah.
Where the light would catch it. And then don't forget the reflections in the water. You've got to copy what you did on the tree above. So if you did it on the left hand side, you just put very intermittently with your candle, obviously not a straight line because it's in the water, a jiggly jaggly line on that side in the tree, on the trees. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. That's all right. So just paint with water. I'm set up so you won't see my arm get in the way. Yeah, I think I can do it. There we go. So I want you to just paint with water. And you should just have water on there now. And then I'm going to put a bit of orange. Cadmium orange by the looks of that. And I'm going to plop it on. There it goes. No, you've just got to spread it about a bit. So just creating a little orange background, and I'm going to pop in. So I'm just going to add that in at the moment. Try and avoid the trees. And actually, while that's going on, I haven't put any more on. I'm literally using the paint that I originally put on there. And I'm going to put a bit of cadmium yellow as well. That's going to go on. So you're going to work with these two colours. I'm just going to put that in there. That's going to do in there. Spread it out. So you're just going to use these two colours as your background colour. You can put a little bit more orange if you want. So I'm just adding.
What's the orange again?
It is, I'm using cadmium orange.
Okay.
Have you got that one?
No.
It looks like, if that helps, it just looks like orange. It looks like oranges. That's any help.
I'll go with that.
Just use the orange, the one that says orange in there. That should be the one. And the middle bit of the painting here is where I'm concentrating most of my colour. So in my palette, all I'm dunking is my paintbrush in the orange, and I'm popping it in the yellow. So basically, I don't mix mine generally on the paper. I just mix it in the palette because I want it to just mix on the page here. So I'm just going to pop that on like that. I'll just clean my brush to paint. I'm just going to spread it all out a bit. Same with a bit more, need a bit more orange over here because it's lacking a bit of orange. So you're just trying to create, I mean, it can go off the top of the page because you ever frame pictures, you always have a little bit on the edge where it sits behind the mount anyway. So you don't have to worry about the edge bit. So just add that all on and just build that up. So I want a bit more orange on there now. So I've got that all going on there. Now I'm just going to build it up. So I've got a tiny bit of orange on. So I can see that's where it all is. So I'm going to add a bit of yellow in there. And I'm literally letting it go in and building it up. I don't know if you can see all that going on there. It's just going in and I'm building it up slowly. That's a bit better. That's better. You're just going to put it in, a bit of yellow. If you find you've got too much paint on your paintbrush, just clean it off and then take off the excess water with your kitchen towel. Just spread it all out a little bit more. And then what you're going to do is to create that. So I want to create like more orange at the top than rather than down the bottom to simulate kind of autumn leaves. So there's going to be more of a concentration of orange up and yellows at the top there. Just those two colours, you're just mixing them up as they go on the paper. I just roll my brush actually, I quite like doing that. It's one of my favourite things to do, just roll your brush around. Let the water, so then it's just like simulates leaves. You don't have to do much. Let your brush do a lot of the work. Like that. It's very, very subtle. So it's, I'll clean my brush now. I'm just getting rid of that harsh line. And then you're going to, while you're using this orange, you need to do it in your reflections down here, because obviously it's reflecting the same colours. So you do more a mutated colour down here, and where you've got your wax going on, it should resist the orange. So I'm just going to go up there. Just simulating the same colours. And you can avoid the trees. Don't have to really worry about it too much. So it's water, so everything kind of disappears in. And that's just the water going on there. Put a bit of yellow in there as well. There you go, so it's copying that. And that's really all you need to do for the top bit at the moment, because we haven't finished the top bit, because we're going to do some splattering, which Laura won't like. See whether Laura does it. That is, so you can do a bit more of a, the foreground is always darker, so you can always pop a little bit more orange here in the foreground. So you have stronger colours nearer you, and they get darker as they go off into the distance there. And you should see some of these lines, these wax lines that you popped on, they should start appearing. You can just put your paint on it. The wax is quite nice because it just catches the stuff. That's all you need to do with the orange at the moment. Then we're going to put the trees on. Now these are actually quite quick if you've got the wax resist going. Move that down so you can see. So I've got a lot of my concentration of my colours kind of where the tops of the trees are. So underneath here, where the trunks are, down here, it's quite a light orange, and then up as you go up towards the trees, I've added a little bit more paint. You just have to build up the layers. We will be putting some these splats over the top to finish the leaves off. We haven't done that yet. We'll do that in a minute. So we're going to pop on the colour of the trunk, and I use an indigo colour, just kind of a bluey grey, so you can put a little, let's do that Payne's grey with blue, see where that works. Payne's grey, blue. Because silver birches aren't brown, they're white really. So you've got to put some kind of colour on there. So I use indigo, but if you've got Payne's grey, it's kind of similar. And you just go up the tree with your brush. And because you've put wax resist on, it should, so I'm just plonking that on, it should kind of just not go on basically and create this kind of texture. So be careful you don't lose it into your painting. You've got wet paint. Take a little bit of control of it. I've got too much down there, so I'm just going to take that off. My brush. So if you ever want to take paint off, just wash your brush and then take off, just have water and then take off the excess water with your finger like that. And then dab it in the paint, and this acts like a little suction tool. It'll just suck it back up again. So you can do the next one. So you just work along the trees you've got here. You might need to, I might have to change my brush to a smaller one because I think this is probably a bit big, a bit ambitious using this one. You just go up each brush, and because you've got that wax on the other side of the branch, it won't let it paint, won't let you paint on there. Let's go on that one. I'm getting really dangerously near the paint there. I need my smaller brush. There we go. Let's change to the smaller one. So you just go along each branch, and then the ones in the background can be quite faded because they're in the background. They should be quite faded. I can't hardly get any paint on those. So I'm not going to hardly paint them. I'm going to borrow some off that one because he's got too much. Anyway. And as you come to the foreground again, you can add your paint. Oh, there's a wax. So I'm just going to take that up there. You can always add more paint if you need to. And then you'll find out whether you've done the wax resist or not, because it won't resist it. I've got that going on there, so I'm just going to mop him up. And that one's going to make it a little bit more faded. I want that a little bit darker, so I'm going to make that a little bit darker. You can add a little bit of brown in if you want, if you find it's too blue, it's up to you. These are your trees, I don't mind. If you want to add a bit of different colour. I'm just trying to create that kind of shady. Where's my burnt umber? Let's stick some burnt umber. Now these foreground ones, you can add a bit of brown. That'll give them, that'll make them quite dark, these ones here. Plonk it on. They're wet, you should just dab it on. More texture. So I'm just, it's always good to work with a limited palette unless you're doing some kind of flower or something. It gets too busy. And that's the side of the tree. So just make sure the right hand side of the tree is dark. You can add intermittent. I've got too much paint on this one, so I've just got a brush with, so I'll clean that brush, take off the excess water with my paintbrush, and I'm going to suck this up. There's too much on there. Take that up to the top. And then you have all this ground bit, basically the foreground and stuff. So I'll put a bit of, clean my brush a bit from that, just put water on. Be really careful. You've got wax on these ones here, so it should start to show where they are. So it's a combination of like indigo and burnt umber. This side, I think I used a bit of burnt sienna actually. Here's what burnt sienna is. which is like a rusty brown, because this should be autumn colours, so whatever you think you would like. There you go, that's a bit better. Autumn colour. Going on. Burnt umber, indigo. Let them mix in the water there. Now you can use the end of your paintbrush, or you can use one of these cocktail sticks. End of your paintbrush is equally as good. I'll show you in a minute to do some texture, which is quite fun. So you've really got to get these foreground bits of ground here quite dark. The tree. Yeah. So I'm just adding paint and then deciding if I need to add a little bit more. Just letting the water kind of do its thing at the moment. And add a bit of brown. So I get a bit more burnt umber. I like burnt umber. It seems to be used quite a lot on my palette. And these ones here, I've got wax going on hopefully. So that should. There you go. Won't let me paint. Just what I was wanting. It's just kind of sat there. Because this is the edge of the riverbank, you don't have to I'll just let that do its thing for a bit, then waiting to see what happens. And I'll put in a bit of burnt sienna. And let's see what happens with that for a minute. You can do that thing with a I'll put these riverbanks in here. I'm just going to let that mix around for a little bit before I do anything with it. So as you go into the distance, your little riverbank should be lighter and the ones in the foreground should be darker. Anything in the foreground should be darker. So you can add what colours you like. You've got burnt sienna, you've got burnt umber, indigo, sort of soily colours, whatever colours you feel you want to pop in yours. But they need to actually fade off into the distance. They need to be darker. And then this left-hand bank, this side, is in the shade, so you can add some sort of shaded colours. Ooh, I don't know what colour that is. That's not the right one. So I'm going to take that off because that's too dark. Tidy that up a bit. That's a bit too dark. Let's tidy that up. So I'm going to just use my paintbrush. So get some texture in front of grass. Just turn the paintbrush over. And do it on that one as well. You can use a cocktail stick or you can use a new paintbrush. I've got those in the end of my paintbrush. And you also got the, don't forget, whatever you paint, you do it a bit more lightly in the on the trees, you paint in the water there. Visual reflections. So pop those in there, so that's a bit browny. And if you want to match it up, you can always match it. So if you do your reflection quite dark, like I have there, I'm just going to go up and make that tree a little bit darker, so it simulates the same. And that's dark there. I'm going to make that dark there. So it's the same. Kind of make the reflections work for you. And that's on there. The foreground. See my brush. So I've just got water. So if you want to spread it about a bit, you need just water on stuff. Oh. And you just gently spread these reflections. Oh, I've just got a clean my brush and I've just got water on it. That's it. And I've got the paint on there already and I'm just going to wiggle it around like that. Very watery. Go clean it again. Take off the water with my finger and then just wiggle it. So it kind of done the reflection. I don't have to do anything on that. Your eye will make that into a reflection. This one here, it's the same. And I'm going to make him look like a reflection. And then this one here. And then just put those in. And that's kind of what's going on at the moment. And then the leaves. How's everyone doing? So I want to make that a bit darker there because I think that foreground one, this one here, I want that a bit darker. So I either use ultramarine and burnt umber for darks, or I use indigo for my darks. I don't ever use black.
Hi Debbie, I'm quite behind, but I'm still having a bit of a go at the painting.
That's all right.
What colour are you getting to mixing to get the grey?
I've got indigo, or have you got a grey?
I'm trying to work out.
You can use a dark blue. It's called ultramarine and burnt umber.
Okay.
That'll give you a dark.
Yeah.
And then you just water that down, and that'll give you different variations of the dark that you'll need.
All right, thank you. I need to do what you said about the palette because that would be good actually.
Yeah. I mean, I got so confused with mine myself.
Yeah.
I just found it easier.
Thank you.
That's all right. So you just sort of you just build it up really, and you should have wax resist on it. This side creates its own kind of texture because I can't actually paint there, it won't let me. So I've got wax there, so it gives you that little funny little texture. And then your little reflections in the water should go like that. How's everyone doing? Because I'm just going to pop in the leaves, which I'll wait for a second for everybody. The leaves, all the leaves are is a little bit of splatting. Laura, are you going to do this bit?
Why would I want to splat?
Because it looks nice, look, leaves everywhere.
The one time I splatted, I got it all over the work laptop.
Laura doesn't do splatting at all. So I'm intrigued to see how you do this bit then without splatting.
Okay, I'll see.
Because I couldn't think of any other way to do it. Anyone got any questions or anything? Far away, I really don't mind. Colour wise. Let me just put that up so you can see. I just use my paintbrush at the front here I have got these. If you ever go to the supermarket and you see these little cocktail sticks, they're great to have because I use them a lot when I do a lot of my art.
Debbie, could you just go over the colours that you used at the base of the trees on the shore?
Yeah, it's burnt umber.
Yeah.
Which is dark brown, and ultramarine.
Yeah.
And then I popped a bit of indigo in there sometimes, and that bit there is a bit of burnt sienna, sort of autumny colour.
Yeah, got them.
Just a combination of those browns, really. Burnt sienna, burnt umber, indigo, and ultramarine. Just sort of, if you put water on and then plonk them in and just watch what they do. And then I just leave it for a bit, and then I just wiggle my brush around and decide that I don't want it there, like here. That's the front of the bank. I'm just gonna make, and then you can just build it up. So just go in lightly, and then the foreground needs to be darker. So you just do it a bit more darker in the foreground. So that tree probably needs a little bit more dark on him because he's in the foreground. So I'm gonna put a bit. Burnt umber is my most used colour by the looks of this palette, and ultramarine. This is my palette, and the most used one is that one and that one, which is burnt umber and ultramarine. There's hardly any in there. I have to replace them. And phthalo blue are my three favourite colours to use. And you'll find that you might not want to use my colours. You might want to use your colours eventually. You don't always have to use my colours. I'm just there. Here's a guide. You can use different colours. I don't mind because we're all different. We all like different colours. So I'm just darkening these front ones up. Obviously, it's a bit blobby this bit at the moment, so I'm just going to blend that out with a bit of water. So you'll find that I do notice a lot of you when you send them, you all have different styles, you all different variations of colours. It's actually really nice. So I don't want to change that. You need to, it's nice for everyone to have their own little way of doing things. I've always used burnt umber and ultramarine. I just like those.
Not sure it's really style. I think it's just does it itself.
Yours is very distinct. I know yours, Shelley. As soon as it comes through, I know exactly that's your one. No, that's nice because you all do have some nice styles, actually. I'm not very subtle with my paint. I quite like a lot of. I like really dark colour, but there's nothing wrong with having very light colours. It's just the way I do it. But you're not here to paint exactly as I am. It's nice for you to do your own make little decisions along the way. Right, I think that's all my sandbags. So I'm just going to do this splatting stuff. So I'm just hoping that it's a little bit dry. So you need this top bit to be a little bit dry before you start doing that. So that splatting part is rusty colours basically. So your burnt sienna and your orange. So I've literally got my brush and I poked it into the burnt sienna and I've rolled it around in the orange. And I've got my paintbrush. A bit more water. Might need to be a bit more runny. And you hold it within your fingers like that. And you bang it. You should start to get. It is messy, as Laura said. I've got it all over my printer and everything. But it's nice because it creates these leaves. So you have to have a little bit of paint on your brush. I mean, I used to say flick it for the children, but it goes everywhere. But if you just you've got to hold your brush tight and then you've actually got to bang it quite hard. It is messy. And you start to get leaves. It's very simple. Oh, Liz is doing it, I can see. Don't get it on the toilet, 10. And you can change the colours. You can add some yellow in there if you want and just sort of squiggle that around in and then pop that on, and you can even add red. This is where you add your like autumn colours in there. Yeah, it's very simple. Just make sure your background is dry, otherwise it will act like blotting paper and it will go everywhere, which is fine, but it will go more blotting paper effect. And if you want, you can pop some down bottom there. I love this bit. Kids will love this. Ivy will love this. This Ivy's gone to bed.
Brushing her teeth now.
Sorry?
She's brushing her teeth now.
She'd love this bit. The kids all love this bit.
Really well before, Rosie.
So that's how you do the leaves. You just build it up in the colours you would like, really. There we go. It's very simple. Hold it tight. There, look. Oh, I'll literally hold it tight and then I bang it. I'm going to see it's Laura doing it. Let me have a look. Is she? Did you do it? You did it. Did you get it everywhere? It is messy. I have an area. I think I have got it a little bit messy. Sarah's like, oh my God.
All over the dining room table.
Yeah, it will come off though. I will say the watercolours will come off. Whereas if we were using acrylics, that's it. You've lost it. It stays on there forever. But watercolours will come off, thankfully. So hopefully you've got something similar. Like, how did you, Hannah? You had to do it a bit loose.
I didn't do the leaves.
You haven't done the leaves? You need to practice on a bit of paper and see.
I need newspaper if I'm going to splat stuff. Like,
yeah, it is a bit messy. I have got it quite all over a few places, all over here, but it will come off. It's only watercolour, but it gives that nice kind of autumny effect. Let's go for it.
Thank you, Debbie. I'm going to go.
You're more than welcome, Jane.
Bye. Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Debbie, do you have to have your brush quite wet?
Yes, you need quite a lot of pigment on it. So I've gone in here and I've used that. So can you see how, let me just show you how wet it is.
Thanks, Debbie. I'm off too. Lindsay.
Okay, thank you. If anyone of you want like colour palettes and recordings, please message me because I won't remember who asked for what, because I don't have much of a brain capacity for that. So that's the rust one, the Pants Yellow. You can see how watery it is.
Yeah.
That's orange. So then I'm going to pop it in the water. I'm going to get a little bit more watery. So it's quite watery, and that's my brush. Can you see how much is on there?
Right, okay.
Yeah? Does that help, Jude?
Yeah, thank you.
Otherwise you'll be flicking forever. It won't come off.
Yeah, as I found out.
So there you go. That will come off now nicely.
Thank you
It's
very
quite
much.
damp.
Debbie.
Sorry?
Thank you very much. I'm going to go now.
You're more than welcome. Can you send me your pictures through so I can see what you've done? Is that Christy?
I will send it through. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. I'm off as well.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you very much. That was lots of fun. I enjoyed the splatting.
Good. And as I said, if any of you want anything, just message me. As I said, the colour charts and recordings and stuff, let me know. Because
yes, I'll do that. Thank you very much indeed.
You're more than
Bye-bye.
welcome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
I'm off now as well. I'll be here. Thank you, Debbie.
You're more than welcome. Love to see you.
And you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Send me your pictures.
I will do.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you ever so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Who hasn't got my phone number?
I don't have your phone number.
Hey, Linda, have you got WhatsApp?
Yes, I've got WhatsApp.
It's 0759
0759, yeah.
0318
0318.
444.
Okay.
And make sure you pop your name on the Linda so I know who it's from.
Yeah,
I can have a look. Thank you. There's no hurry tonight. If you haven't done it tonight, you want to wait.
I couldn't splat, so I used a sponge.
Oh, wow. Oh, I love to see what that looks like. Good idea. Well done.
Yeah, anyway.
Thank you.
Good fun.
Can you just give your phone number again, please?
Yes, it's 0759.
Debbie, can you just...
Yeah, who is that? Yeah, 0759.
That's Caroline.
Caroline, 0759 0318 444.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. And send it through. I'd love to see what you've been up to behind there. I see all these lovely faces when I can't see what any of you are doing. And if you want the recording, please let me know as well, and then I'll pop that over.
Okay, thank you, Debbie.
More than welcome, Laura. Lovely to see you splatting.
Thanks, Debbie.
Take care. Who's that, Jude?
Yeah, I'll send it to you later because my top's a bit wet, so it's...
Yeah, you need to let that dry, otherwise it will go like blotting paper and it will just spread everywhere. You don't need it.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely let that dry. All right. Thank you. See you, Jude.
Oh, thank you, Debbie.
You're more than welcome.
So
see you.
I had a uniball this time.
Yay,
so,
works a bit better, doesn't it?
That. And I had a very large candle, so my
yes,
the wax bits aren't very subtle.
That's all right. Well, it's I quite like the fact that sometimes it's a bit random and you're not sure where it's because. And I worked with a wax candle for ages until someone showed me that they had those. I can't find my little stripe on Amazon. I can put that. I was going to put that on Facebook, wasn't I? Are you on Facebook, Sarah?
I know I do WhatsApp.
Okay, because I need to. It's a link to those little wax crayony thingies if you want a little bit more, a little thing.
No, I'm sure I can find stuff.
Yeah, they're called wax resist crayons.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Yeah,
that's all they are. So yeah, just have a look and see what you can find. Does everyone? Is people still copying my picture?
No, I'm good. I'm off now.
Heading off. Just going to put me on there. That's all, because you can't see me.
Send you mine, Debbie, and I'm off. Thank you very much.
Shirley, love to see you.
See you.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Debbie.
You're more than welcome. If anyone need any help, just shout.
I'm off too. I splatted, but my thing wasn't dry, so it's gone like blotting paper.
Well, that's it, Kerry. Dry it with a hairdryer, and then, or let it dry, and then go over the top of it again, and that'll be fine.
I think I'm going to have another go because it was the same thing. I was so happy with the drawing, and then once I got the paint on, I just put too much paint on. So
it'll come eventually. It's getting the hang of it.
I need to spend more time practicing. I don't get enough time to practice.
That's all right. Well, this is what this is for. Then you learn from doing it. So always remember the foreground is dark. Oh, that's beautiful. Just let it dry, Kerry. Yeah. And then go over the top with the splatting. I think it'll be fine. It looks fine to me. It looks lovely.
And the reflection's not great. I've got too much paint on the reflection, but
just use your kitchen towel and dab it off.
Yeah.
Try it with your kitchen towel first and see what you can do. Yeah. Just remember, foreground is always darker and the background is always lighter as it fades off into the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to head off.
All right, mates.
And I'll try and finish it off. I'll send it over.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks.
Love to see you. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Debbie. It's Rob. I'm going to wait for the link now and finish off mine.
Okay. Can you message me and ask me for the link and then I'll put it on my
I have done it.
You've done it. Okay, cool. Yeah. Brilliant. Thanks, Ross.
Thanks ever so much.
You're more welcome. Love to see you.
Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Debbie. I've sent you my picture.
Okay, Lorraine, you all right? Do you keep up all right today?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I've sent it to you.
Thank you. Beautiful.
On Messenger thing, WhatsApp thingy.
Thank you. It looks good. Thanks, Ryan.
This worked brilliantly.
Yeah.
Thank you. Really.
I'm not used to you being that way around though. You're confusing me. It's a new person.
Yeah, it's there, but I'm looking here.
Yeah. So you've got your sewing club now?
No, not. I've got a weekend workshop.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I'm doing on Zoom.
Yes, you need to see a lot of detail then, don't you?
Make another quilt. So yeah.
Well, this works well because I've got my camera there, but I'm looking at my laptop, so I'm doing the same as you. I've got my TV's there with my camera on top of it, but I've got my laptop where I do all my, where I can mix you around and see who's there over there.
To see how it goes, because this actually takes up quite a bit of my sewing table. So
yeah, I've actually got fruit boxes, and mine's on fruit boxes up above everything, so then my art stuff slides underneath it. So the Tesco's do those. Grapes come in those little cardboard boxes. So mine will sit on that. So I've got a bit more, that everything's up, then everything can slide underneath. That's how I do it.
I think I've got another table I can put in beside my sewing table here, and then I can put my laptop on that. Then at least I've got this big
area
cutting out. And
wow, sounds fun. What are you making?
Oh no, pictures downstairs. I'll try and remember show you next week. It's a quilt where it's going to have flowers. You cut out expensive bits of materials and you cut out leaves and things and sew it all back up together again. So
it's a bit like that one you got in the background that I can't see anymore.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I still haven't finished that one. So yeah, I got quilts everywhere. I haven't finished.
They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I wish I could sew. That's something my mum could always do, and she never. Never patient enough.
This one you've just shown us. I've got a picture here.
Wow! Whoa, that's beautiful. Whoa, love that. That's quilting, isn't it?
That's all material. It's all bits of material.
Wow, I am. I mean, I would love to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, lots of stitching, lots of bits of material. And anyway, there we go. Another hobby.
Right.
Thank you, Debbie.
You're more than welcome. Love to see you. The setup works well. Well done.
Yeah.
Bye. Thanks, Debbie.
Bye.
I think I've finished. Thank you.